Where are you gripping onto your pain, and what is the story underneath your pain? I want to talk about dissecting and understanding pain for the purpose of being able to transcend and transmute it. So, if you have physical body pain, emotional pain, inflammation, grief, what are we dealing with today, folks? Then this video is going to help you understand your pain, and it's going to be mostly food for thought here because this is what I've been sitting with. So before we get into it, my name is Grace Moralia. I specialize in trauma and subconscious healing. What I help people like you do is identify, heal, and release core traumas, limiting beliefs, blocks that are keeping you stuck in debilitating patterns, cycles, stories, toxic relationships, lack of self-love, things like this in your life that are blocking you from being the highest version of yourself. So if you want to step into the highest version of yourself, live your purpose, love yourself, learn tools to heal yourself that you can use for the rest of your life, whether that be from traumas from childhood or relationships or adulthood or just ways that you're still stuck right now, then my coaching programs and in-person retreats are for you. And you can fill out the form below if you're interested in working together, if you feel the vibes. Just write a little bit about yourself. We'll jump on a no pressure chat to see if it aligns to work together. I would love to connect with you, all right? Thank you so much for being here. Let me know in the comments how this message resonates with you. I love you guys, and please like and subscribe if you support the channel. Plus, I made a vlog today, and I'm gonna be posting it in a little bit, and I'm excited about that because I don't do vlogs, but I just thought, let's just fucking go. Let's fucking go. So this is what I've been sitting with, and I wanna give you this transmission for you to sit with. I notice in myself, because I grew up and in an environment that was uh, full of a lot of scarcity, uncertainties, trauma bonds. My nervous system was messed up. Like, I would keep getting the same feedback of fearing my safety because, my parents were getting a divorce. My dad was abusive. My mom was going through a lot. And so there was just this high strung energy around me. And I have always been a caregiver, caretaker. So I decided to, try to hold things together in many ways for my family. And then into high school, I went into a really big party high school where everyone was smoking weed and drinking a lot. And that was just the vibe. And that created even more tension in my body and repressed emotions. And I noticed the more that I was partying, the more that my body would get stuck in these fight or flight responses. And I've had to spend my 20s reversing the damage that I did from my party phase. I will have a good glass of wine every now and then, okay? And I'm not ashamed of it. And people in the spiritual world are like, oh, you shouldn't do that. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, okay? I'm gonna enjoy my life. And anyways, so when you're going through emotions the point is when you're going through emotions and your body gets stuck in these fight or flight responses, it gets repressed, right? We're not processing the emotions. So it lives in the cellular DNA. It lives in the body. And with that, it carries forward into our future lives and then create our present and future. And then it creates these patterns of, repetitive nervous system relapses into fear, fight or flight, all this crap that feels bad to us, right? And then we keep manifesting situations that affirm this fight or flight. So I found myself in my life stuck with pains in my body that were created from being stuck in fight or flight and not processing my emotions fully. A big part of my work is that I live through everything that I share. And so I'm not reading from a textbook. I have real life experiences and plus experience with working with close to 4,000 people at this point. But I say this because I've been sitting with the idea of understanding your pain, understanding my pain. And I'll speak just for myself so that you can piece it together for yourself. The parts of me that I accept have pain, right? I've had chronic pain for years. I've had chronic pain, chronic gut issues for years. And it started, I really believe, from these fight or flight responses and also generational trauma that I inherited. Me and my mom were talking about that yesterday because we both deal with gut issues and how we believe it's inherited. And so with this chronic pain has come a lot of me being humble, because like it's like my back or my jaw or like my feet, like there's just random manifestations of this pain. And that's scary to me when I'm in my 20s, because I'm like, what am I going to be like when I'm 40? But I've chosen to adopt the mindset that I'm just going to keep getting better and better and better, and I'm not going to go downhill. But in order for me to get better, I have to observe and understand my pain, right? I have to understand what the messages underneath the pain are. What is my body telling me? What is my body holding on to? What are my cells gripping to? What is the story? So I started to investigate. Who would I be if I didn't have jaw pain? What would that mean about myself if I didn't have pain? And it makes me kind of emotional, because it challenges the belief that I'm stuck. And then that shows up and represents other areas in my life where I feel stuck, right? I'm stuck in scarcity, not money for me, right? I'm not talking about that, but any form of scarcity, whether that be scarcity of love, scarcity of just scarcity, like this energy of what that feels like in the body, right? And you understand what I mean. Scarcity. In some phases of my life, before I started my business, it was with money. And when I first started my business, it was with money. Over time, it's gotten a lot better, but like other areas, and I find myself trying to prove myself to you guys. I don't need to prove myself, but that's also scarcity, trying to prove myself worthy, coming from a place of lack, that I'm not enough as I am, or that this message isn't enough. That core in the body is like the root spiral of many physical manifestations of patterns and external manifestations, that loop around our lives. You have to look at your core wounds and your core belief systems as this little spiraled shell that goes in on itself, and there's a center, and that energetic center is what wants to unwind to free the body, to free the soul, to free the lineage, to free your whole lineage ultimately. And I just made a video about healing generational traumas and curses. You can check that out from yesterday. That goes more in depth about that. But rewiring the whole cellular DNA around scarcity. And so for me, I always question my healing, and to break out of patterns to me means to just question things and to wonder why it's like this, and to see what is a deeper truth underneath, right? What is underneath the emotion? What is underneath the pattern? And so, who am I without this pain? What would that mean for myself? Who would I become? What is possible for me, right? And then by asking those questions to the pain, I get emotions and points of myself that haven't yet been freed. And so sitting with those, meditating with those, being with those, praying with those, heals me and opens me to a new vibration. So I want to present that to you. Who are you underneath the pain? What is underneath the pain? What is the story? Beginning to unravel, and knowing that this is a journey, beginning to unravel yourself to the depths of yourself, and being curious instead of critical, instead of condemning, instead of, I'm stuck like this. You're not stuck like this. You are more than this. You are patterned to believe that you are not good enough. You are patterned to believe that you are stuck. You are patterned to believe that you are in scarcity. You are patterned to believe that you are in abandonment. You are not those things. Your soul is underneath those things. And that's the work. All right. And that's exactly what I can help you unravel and heal through my coaching programs, right? Identifying what your main blocks are and beginning to really heal and release those old emotions that are stored in your body, and loving yourself the way that your inner child needs, your past self needs, your future self needs, and really aligning to the voice of your true self and soul. So if that calls to you, I'd love to connect with you. And I just want to interact. You can fill it out below, right? The form. But I want you to interact with your pain with a more of the lens of curiosity and not I'm stuck. I'm curious. I'm not stuck. You can get better whenever you want, and I believe in that. And I believe that your body can heal quickly, and I believe mine can too. And I believe that it's an ancient technology that is beginning to be more uncovered. So let's go into this lens of consciousness. All right? I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.